Hello and welcome to Lucent's Mistymire tutorial. Mistymire is a great place for you to farm up some gear. I'll do a series of videos in the order you should progress through maps. I started off farming here, and though my stats are pretty high now, you can start this with around 1000 tower attack damage. I'd recommend not starting with mix mode, however. You'll need the following tower heroes: a monk, a squire, huntress, EV, and a summoner. Pay close attention to how many defense units I use, as well as their positioning. To get started, we'll be putting down aura stacks in multiple locations. Each stack includes slow, electric, and strength drain auras. Line the first set on the end of the bridge, then move right between the lily pad groups. Place a stack just past the trees here. Up north, it's important to do the stack in the far corner first, and then in front. Swap to your EV and start building beams. All reflection beams are 1 DU, and buff beams are 4 DU with one exception. You will build a buff beam reflect combo at these points: the bridge, the lily pads, behind the trees, I said behind the trees, and north. The buff beam north is the exception at 6 DU. Start it halfway up the stairs so you can buff the procs and gas traps. This part will be tricky. Start the buff beam on top of the little wall about halfway back. Bring it down diagonally like this. Build reflect beams on either side far from the beam. This takes practice. Swap to your squire real quick. You don't need 5k attack to hold this. Watch how I build. First, build one on the ground so it's being buffed. Then stack another on the wall. This is a tight fit, so you may have to play around with it to get the other two on as well. Have 2 facing south and 2 facing east. Now get your huntress out. Lay a gas trap in front of each empty buff beam, not by the harpoons. You may have different problem areas, so distribute 2 infernos and 1 proximity trap as you see fit. This is where I usually put them: the Inferno up north, the Proximity Mine northeast, and the Inferno east. Just a quick FYI, east can be a problem with low stats. You may not be able to beat wave 30 with 1k stats, but you can start farming up armor and weapons pretty well. I don't recommend starting before wave 10, that way you'll have enough mana to build. Last up is your summoner. I use this combination quite a bit. Generally, you will build 4 archers, 1 spider, and 1 mage per buff beam. Start with 5 archers on the south buff beam, 1 spider, and 1 archer as shown here. Build the standard 2x1x1x2 on east and northeast. At north, build 6 archers, a spider, and a mage, and then 3 to 4 archers behind them. If you build 3, put the 4th in one of your problem areas. At this point, I'd recommend bringing out an upgrader so you can upgrade fast. Upgrade buff beams, then auras, then traps, then whatever you want. You want everyone to swap to being a summoner as early as possible so you get good armor loot. This build will eventually hold to wave 30. After wave 20, you will average about 40 to 60 million mana a wave. Best of luck and see you in the dungeon.